Hello and welcome to another episode of Because Why? And today we are getting festive. Catherine asks, what is the history of Christmas? Here we go. So there's a good chance that those watching this already know the story of little baby Jesus, but the SparkNote version is this. There was this girl named Mary who was visited by an angel who said, "Sup girl, God wants to give you a baby. You in?" And Mary was like, okay. So flash forward 9 months, and Mary, her husband Joseph, a real mensch, let me tell ya, and their trusty donkey go to Bethlehem to deal with some paperwork, only to find when they get there, there's nowhere for them to stay. As the old story goes, there was no room at the inn, and they end up having to sleep in the manger, aka where the animals are kept, and that, in the middle of the night, is where little baby Jesus is born. Flash forward to after little baby Jesus is no longer a little baby, and has proved to be a pretty dang snazzy man, dying for all of humanity's sins, and his followers have started the beginnings of the first Church of Christ. Fast forward to the 4th century, when the church decides it wants to start celebrating the birth of Jesus, because before that, the focal celebration was Easter, the whole thing where, he suffered death and was buried, and rose again on the 3rd day in accordance with the scriptures, yada yada. Unfortunately for the church leaders, the Bible didn't specify a date for when he was born because timekeeping back then was a little hard / confusing / look up how many calendars the Roman Empire had if you don't believe me. The reason that we celebrate it in December near the winter solstice is because literally everybody else was already doing that. And the leaders of the church figured this was the best way to get people to start and then continue with this new holiday. Not coincidentally, thanks to choosing this date, it meant that the holiday of Christmas, as we know it, is now a big old hodgepodge of pagan traditions mixed in with some talk about a little baby, his fam, his bossy, and the 3 kings. The Yule log we all know and love is from the Norse religion, where to celebrate the new year, a village would collect a whole bunch of wood and then set it on fire, and keep the party going until the fire went out. Similarly, we sort of co-opted Christmas trees from Saturnalia, the Roman holiday for the winter solstice, which included bringing evergreen trees into the home to remember that winter was now going to start wrapping up. So this wouldn't be a proper Christmas video if I didn't include the jolly fellow that is Santa. So Santa, or as his mother would call him, Saint Nicholas, was a real guy, and he was actually a bishop. He was a real big deal, seeing as he was at the Council of Nicaea. And also, he unfortunately was brutally tortured under the Emperor Diocletian, making him a Christian martyr. What turned his memory into the jolly man in the red suit, however, was his kindness towards children and his extreme charity. St. Nicholas would often bring small gifts to children throughout the year, and this started the tradition of giving gifts to children on his feast day, which then evolved to the current mode of gift giving we celebrate today.
So Catherine, that was a brief overview of the history behind Christmas. Now, my question for you is, why is that in rowing, you could be excellent on the water, but once you're on an indoor rowing machine, you're looking like a pool? Asking for a friend? Anyway, gotta go, bye!